today I thought it might be really fun to do some Chinese elms with a view to growing them into bonsai. It takes a long time to grow a seed into bonsai, but elms you see everywhere as bonsai, and not many people know how to do them right, and a lot of them are dying when you buy them because they're cut down from a very young tree to a very short stump. That stump is then allowed to grow out and it looks like a bonsai, but unfortunately it's got such a big wound in the tree that it can never recover from it, so it's dying before you buy it. So I thought what might be a really nice idea is to do elms from seed and show you a good way to do it. It takes a long time, but you get a lot of satisfaction out of it and you get really good shapes with them. Now I've got some elm seeds here, some Chinese Elm. When they start growing, they grow really fast, and that's why they're good for bonsai, because you can reduce the leaf size quite quickly, you can get them positioned, you can form clouds. It's a really good seed to do. So here they are. Now, to get these little guys to germinate, they actually need a cold spell. One of the most common things when people buy me a bring me a Zelkova bonsai that's not happy, they say, what's wrong with my tree? It's looking all long branches and the odd leaf on the end, it's looking terrible. Well, believe it or not, this little tree is a tree that likes a cold spell, likes to go to sleep in the winter, and likes to drop its seed. If you keep it in the warm and keep it inside, it's not going to be happy at all. And that's proved by how you germinate these seeds. They will not grow unless they have a cold spell initially to start off the germination. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. It's going to take 2 months of them being in the fridge before they're ready to start germinating, and we'll catch up from there. So what we're going to do first of all, laying them out on this piece of kitchen towel, going to spread them out. Little leaf there. We'll take the leaf out because we don't want anything to make the seeds go mouldy if we can help it. They actually look like little leaves, but there's a little seed inside each one. So I'm going to lay them out. Then I'm misting them with water. This water is not just tap water, it's tap water that's been left for a long time, so all the chemicals have evaporated. So you want to just dampen the whole of the kitchen towel. Don't leave any dry patches. So I usually do this actually with my fingers so I can feel everything's nice and wet. That's not quite wet enough. You don't want it to be dripping with water, you just want it to be holding as much water as it can within the kitchen towel. I even think it could have a bit more. Now, occasionally your seeds will decide they're going to germinate before their time is up, and they'll actually start germinating in the fridge. That's a really good sign if they do that. That often happens with maples. So make sure your seeds are as spaced out as you can get them. So there's not too many on top of the others. You've got lots of room. And you do need to check on the seeds. You can't just put them in the fridge and leave them for 2 months, because sometimes this paper will dry out and that will stop the germination. So you want it to be nice and damp at all time, but not dripping with water. Okay, then I usually fold it up on itself, similar to this. Oops, sorry, off camera there. And then I place it into a Ziploc bag. There we go. I put the date they go in to the date they're coming out on the front and what they are, because I've got lots of seeds on the go. And they're ready to go into the bottom of your fridge. Now, if you've done it right, within an hour or so, and you've got enough water on that kitchen towel and not too much, it'll almost look like it's steaming up inside the bag. That's a really good sign you've had enough water in the bag, you've not had too much, or you've not had not enough. Put them in there, check on them like once a week, and just make sure that paper hasn't dried out. If it does dry out, respray it or re-wet it, put them back in the fridge, and I'll catch up with you in 2 months. So here are my little Chinese Elm that have come up after stratifying the seed. You can see they've all got about 2 sets of leaves on, just getting their third. And this is the stage you want to think about transplanting them into single little pots. Once they're in the single little pots, we're just going to leave them to grow up to the size you want. Now this can be quite a small size, 10 centimetres for a mame bonsai, or You can make a taller one, 15 to 20 centimetres, or you can make a really big bonsai that's sort of knee high. But either way, you've got to let the tree then do its thing and grow up to the size you want. I'm quite a fan of doing small bonsais because they look older quicker, if that makes sense. And I love the tiny size of them, but you can do it any size you want. So I'm going to pot some of these on and show you what they look like in their single pots, and then let them grow on, and the next video will be when they've reached the size to start clipping and training them.